Hey everyone, I'm Sue, and welcome back for another episode of Does This Notion Really Work? And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the ByAnnie.com Stiletto and Pressing Tool. This tool was designed by Annie Unrein, the owner of ByAnnie.com. She's a Craftsy instructor, a pattern designer, and she's created her very own revolutionary, soft and stable product. Designing this little tool was quite extensive. It took over 2 years, but the ride was exciting and the adventure was amazing. And you should definitely check it out on her website. She has the whole story on how this little guy came to be. At first glance, it appears to be a regular ordinary stiletto, but when you take a closer look, you will see all the things it's capable of. How about we take a closer look together?
It measures a total of 6.5 inches, and the point measures about 1.25 inches. When you first take a look at it, you'll see that there is a plastic tube covering the point. It can kind of be tricky to take it off with just your fingers. So Annie suggested resting your nail at the base of the tube and twisting while pulling the tube off the pointer. It works like a charm. And when you place it back on, you're going to do the same thing, but just in reverse. The point has some really neat features on its own. Not only is it super sharp, it's sand grounded for added traction, which makes pushing and pulling materials super easy. The texture kind of reminds me of a fine nail file. And it's not just any regular old pot metal either. It's made from German high carbon steel. The ByAnnie Stiletto and Pressing Tool is contoured for easy grip. And check out all those curves. Now you would think with all those curves she'd roll around all over the place, but notice the flat sides which prevent her from rolling. In fact, watch what happens when I set her down when not in use. She's kind of like a cat. She always lands on her feet. Now, when I saw that the ByAnnie Stiletto and Pressing Tool was made of wood, my first thought was, well, this might be too heavy. But it's made of a high-quality European beechwood, which makes it very lightweight. In fact, look at it compared to a regular pen. It weighs 2 grams less. It didn't chintz out on the finish either. It is smooth, pretty, and long-lasting. Now, sometimes finishing wood can add a terrible chemically odor, but the ByAnnie's Stiletto and Pressing Tool does not. Working our way down this curvaceous tool, you will see on the other end is designed for pressing. I noticed too that on the angle it's super smooth, so it won't snag your fabrics. And check out the ball that's on the end of the pressing tool side. What it does is it prevents your fingers from slipping down as you're pressing on the fabric.
Wow, this tool can do a lot. How about we take a closer look and see exactly how to use it?
First, let's take a look at the stiletto end. In this example, we're making like a purse strap, and we want to have a nice perfect little 1/8 of an inch top stitch along here. And we're going to hold the ByAnnie's Stiletto and Pressing Tool like a pencil. Check out how close we can get. Now, of course, you can use it on a 90-degree angle, and it sort of acts as a walking foot, helping move the material along under the presser foot. And as you can see, it's so comfortable in my hands that I'm not hesitating to go from pencil mode to walking foot / 90-degree angle mode. And look how close I can get to the needle. I mean, seriously, that's pretty awesome. Now, let's say that you're doing quilting and you're using that soft and stable inside. So what you're going to do is you want to top stitch along the very edge, which is 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. It's pretty cool how close we can get with the Stiletto and Pressing Tool by Annie.com. I mean, check out that awesome, perfect, tiny little seam. The ByAnnie Stiletto and Pressing Tool is great for attaching binding too. Once you've stitched the binding to the wrong side and are ready to flip over toward the front, you'll find it easier than ever. And of course your goal is to cover that back stitching, and of course you don't want to see the stitching on the front. So use the tip of that stiletto end and actually put your tip into the back stitching, and then lower your presser foot and sink the needle directly into that back stitching. You'll find that as you need to move a little bit further along the binding, you're going to take that stiletto end and again sink it right into the back stitching. This is such a great tip that I got from Annie, and I thought I had to share it with you all because I've never worked with a tool quite like this before. And again, look how close I could get with that stiletto to the needle. It's just the perfect binding stitch. You'll find that the stiletto end of the tool grabs onto the fabric like in the seam allowance and opens it right up, which is really great and makes for pressing with the other end real simple as well. And talking about that flat end, you'll notice that the angle is perfect. To be honest, at first glance, I thought it was a funny angle, but obviously Annie knows best. She totally did her homework, and the angle is perfect and it doesn't put any strain on my fingers when I'm using it. I honestly found the angle super comfortable compared to other pressing tools.
So it seems like quilters, sewers, crafters, and even embroidery users are going to really enjoy using this stiletto. But it does have a warning on the back of the package, which I think is worth mentioning. It does remind us that there is a sharp point and that you should cover it with the tubing that was provided, and that you should keep it away from children, pets, and rowdy teenagers. So if you see any rowdy teenagers coming your way, let them know that this is really sharp.
So where can you buy your very own Annie Stiletto and pressing tool? Well, you can go to byannie.com and buy it directly from the designer. You can ask your local quilt shop, or one of the big box fabric shops might have it as well. And then I've also included some links in the description where you can get it right here online. And how much does this little guy cost? Well, it retails for $19.95. Keep in mind, if you're buying it online, you're going to have to pay for shipping.
Well, I sure hope you enjoyed this video on the By Annie's Stiletto and Pressing Tool. If you did, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. That way you don't miss another video. You can also follow me behind scenes on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. If there's some notions that you would like to see me demonstrate and show and see if they really work, leave those in the comments below. And until I see you again, I hope you have a creative day. Bye-bye!
If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe below. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Have a creative day. Bye-bye.